So Facebook, CD Baby, slash iTunes. Yeah, you guys have YouTube on your list. How do you find that YouTube is helpful to Canasta?
Elizabeth, you want to take this one?
I don't know. No.
Okay. Well,
is YouTube helpful? I guess. I mean,
of course, yeah, it is. We've got a few music videos that have, a ton of views, and obviously for a free place to upload videos and stuff, it's great. It's great in that regard. The issues we've had with YouTube come more in the realm of royalties, and that's where Rumblefish gets involved, and that's where it gets super complicated, super fast, and it's a rabbit hole. And we're happy to explain some of that if you want it.
All right, let's save Rumblefish for later. Let's save Rumblefish for later. But on the surface, YouTube, if you have videos that you want to put up there and are willing to do it for free, is a pretty good deal.
It is, and they make it real easy to embed the videos other places if you so choose. That's great.
Well, of course, people are more apt to watch a video a lot of time than listen to a new track because there's something to look at when they're listening.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, for exposure reasons, yeah.
And you can select HD or regular. I mean, it's pretty slick. It's a cool service.
We had Paul Krugman, the Pulitzer Prize winning economist, on the radio show. He happens to be a huge fan of Sound Opinions. I'm serious. And he's an indie rock fan, right? And he says he listens to Sound Opinions every week, and then he goes to YouTube and he clicks on videos by all the bands. That's how he samples all of his new music. So I figure if this giant of smart economy thinking is pro YouTube, it might be okay.
And their algorithms or whatever they got going on seem to be pretty smart. They recommend a lot of stuff in the sidebar that, if you like this, you might like this. And sometimes it's just, if you like a song with this word in it, you're going to like a song with this word, or you're going to like other songs by this artist. But then also they make suggestions, too, that I'm not entirely sure where they get their info from, but they tend to be pretty good. But
I have noticed this scam. If you want to put up a video of a certain length, like let's say you filmed an entire show, right? Okay. You guys are playing Lincoln Hall, and you want to put up the whole, and a couple of your friends for their film class project at Columbia College come down and they do a good film of, they want this to be the last waltz, right? And but if you put up anything that's over a couple of minutes, you have to then open a director's account, and now you get another one of those offers where like Ping, right? Like join this, or Facebook, for a little bit of money, you could get so much more out of YouTube. Because I found that I had a lecture I wanted to put up, and it's not that easy.
We've never posted anything over 7 minutes or so, or 8 minutes maybe. So it is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that.
Okay. Well, when you guys make your first movie, you'll run into this.
Not Rumblefish. YouTube. So now they offer ads, and you can choose to have ads on your account. And on top of your videos. That seems like a cool thing. Well, it's not cool to have ads in your videos, but since they're going to be on there, it's nice that you're at least getting a cut of the, of the profits, from this ad revenue. But and again, maybe this is just another story that you want to talk about later. But the degree to which you could spend your time chasing down those pennies is
unbelievable.
So they say that
ads on your videos, and it's like, so you might as well get a cut.
They say that you'll get paid if you add ads, but then you never see any money.
We have seen a very, very, very small amount, but it's been a convoluted process, and it's been far more headaches than it's been worth.
All right, well, let's talk about some of the cautionary tales. So, what's the Rumblefish nightmare that you alluded to?
Oh, Rumblefish. Well, it's not all Rumblefish's fault. They've tried. They've tried hard.
Yeah. And also we've had some good experiences with Rumblefish as well, especially early on. They did a lot for us. I mean,
a licensing site, right?
Yeah, it's a licensing site. Sort of the catch is that if they approve your music and they like it, you upload it, you fill out pretty extensive, I want to say like online paperwork for every song. You kind of put in search terms, instruments that are used, the lyrics, the moods of the song, because advertisers go to this website and they want to look for a song, and they say, I want something that's triumphant, and I want something that's got flutes in it, and and hopefully they find your song. So the more search terms you put in there, the better. But the catch is that if someone likes what they hear and they want to license your song, there's an online form that they fill out, and through a series of algorithms, I'm assuming, by the time they filled out this paperwork, they immediately get a quote as to what it's going to cost them to license this song. So it's like if you're going to do, we want 27 seconds of music for the opening of a sitcom, it's going to run for 9 months, once a week on a major network. And they fill out all this information. They get a quote, and they can purchase it right there and download it immediately. And we actually don't get any say whatsoever.
So it's pre-licensed. Wow. It's pre-licensed music. So we give away our right to say no. We don't want to be in an ad for Hummer, or we don't want to be in an ad for whatever. So, but in exchange, it's a easy way for advertisers to find music.
Yeah, it cuts out the middleman and the lawyers and the managers and the.
Well, we could have a great debate about selling out, right? And this art, this heart and soul that you put into your music, right? Okay. But it at least, I think the debate assumes that there is at least a crossroads, with Robert Johnson at one fork and the devil at the other, right? But for all the racist, anti-Semitic, pro-gun, anti-abortion League of America could go on to Rumblefish and decide Canasta is just exactly the music, and you have never even got a say before you find out you're going to get paid $27 to be their new national anthem.
No, and I looked into it a bit beforehand just to sort of look at some of their clients and so forth, and it was all pretty stuff that was either cool or benign, and so we went for it. But yeah, that could totally happen. And I mean, the upside there is that we ended up in a trailer for a cool Matthew Broderick movie, and that paid a little something and got us, some notoriety. And we didn't know about it until a friend said, "Hey, man, congratulations on that movie trailer," And we're like, "What are you talking about?" So you really don't know until someone lets you know they heard your song, or until the check shows up. But the check is usually 6 months later.
And listen, Alan Alda was in it too. I love Alan Alda.
Alan Alda.
That's true. Let the
record show.
So you weren't in the movie; you were just in the trailer.
Just in the trailer. Just in the trailer. But the so Rumblefish is cool in that regard. It also, somewhere along the line, they got the go-ahead to be. They provide the music for YouTube that replaces famous music. So if you upload a home video and you've got a YouTube song on there, YouTube takes it out, silences it, and says you're going to replace it with either nothing, or you're going to replace it with this suggested song. And again, it's usually based on like song titles or words or whatever.
Tempo, I think.
Yeah, tempo. And Rumblefish got in on the ground floor there, and for the longest time, for a few years, they were the sole provider of replacement music on YouTube. So Canasta's music backs up hundreds of videos on YouTube, like cat videos, like people playing video games.
Wow.
There's some families photo album of their like trip to Florida, and it has like 20,000 views or something crazy. I don't know why anyone is watching.
Driving simulators. It's really crazy. And those all do pay tiny, tiny royalties that can add up to $25 here and there, over the course of a month. So that stuff is good. Rumblefish has done that for us.
Well, I guess, but what do did you guys, when you got into being a band, aspire to make music that's going to go with, America's funniest home videos, some jerk falling off of his skateboard?
No, it's true. It's true, and it's sad that we even get like a little bit excited about that when the $25 shows up. It's just like anything you can do to replace some of the CDs that don't sell like they used to, or more recently some of the iTunes tracks that don't sell as much because of the streaming. You're just kind of like always constantly spinning your reels looking for a new place to like get a little bit of revenue stream, not to make a living. I mean, that'd be great, but we don't have any illusions about that. We just want to pay for the rehearsal space and instrument repairs and the next recording and stuff. And we managed to do that, but only through tons and tons of hard work. So yeah, so Rumblefish does provide that, and it's nothing to get too excited about. But at the same time, I wouldn't say, at least that's not what I would call the negative about Rumblefish. The negative is something else.
So what's the negative? What was collecting the money?
No, it's not even that. Pretty good about making deposits and stuff on a quarterly basis. It's not even that. I mean, Elizabeth, sorry, did you want to say?
Oh, it's just that we got in this horrible, endless morass of emails of trying to sort out monetization of our own videos. So we put up our own videos. We have our own channel on YouTube, and our own songs were being swapped out, and Rumblefish was claiming that they have the rights to the songs, which, of course, are our songs and our own videos. And
it's like a computer program. It's automatic. They weren't going in and doing it. It's just like, oh, there's a Canasta song. That's in our catalog. They can't have that on there. So they would silence the music on our own channel, And then we started emailing them, and they were like, oh, that shouldn't happen. Sorry, we thought we whitelisted your channel. I mean, you would think going into this they would have a better system in place where it's like, if we've got bands that are on our roster, let's make sure that their official channels aren't being touched by the software. And after months and months of emailing back and forth between them and YouTube, who's even harder to reach about this stuff, we ended up replacing our own music on some of our songs with our own music from Rumblefish in order to get 50% of the ad revenue as opposed to 100%. It's because we have to play it with Rumblefish.
And we tried. At some point, it became less about the money, obviously, and more about the principle. And we spent hours and hours trying to sort it out with Rumblefish and with YouTube. And
Elizabeth, here as a cutting-edge musician using every digital tool at her disposal, you realize you sound exactly like 75-year-old grandma who's calling the insurance company.
Absolutely. Right. For a few pennies. It's crazy. Yeah, very quickly became about the principle. It just didn't seem right. And then it became about and then we became angry about all the time we'd spent just trying to get it, you're just looking for some resolution. We kind of gave up on that one, and in the end it was like...
Well, and I met a guy who worked for Google, and he was at the Chicago Music Summit and told me that he would help me and gave me his card, and of course he never wrote me back.
Never heard back.
So the interactivity, the ability to interact with live human beings at some of these companies. I mean, we've had Weddegreen, the founder of Pandora, on the radio show, and he's a big deal, and you just met him in person, but that counted for something. But then when you try to contact some of these other places, it's impossible to find a person.
It is, and Rumblefish is about getting back to us, but yeah, YouTube.
Actually, YouTube and Google have been worse. I mean, the Rumblefish has been tried on our behalf. Google and YouTube, forget about it.
Rumblefish just didn't have the software and stuff in place to kind of get this figured out, and that's dumb, and it's a slip up for sure. But at least they were nice and tried to fix it. They just weren't able to.
Well, now, before we leave Rumblefish, does that contract preclude you from? I mean, ideally, I know you guys are eager to sell out, but for the best reasons to finance a new overdue record. But does licensing, to potential soundtracks and such through Rumblefish and commercials preclude Ford Fiesta from calling you directly, or the Coen brothers from saying, we made a big mistake, we needed a Canasta song in Llewellyn Davis?
No. Nice. No, not at all. Which is why we thought it'd be a great idea to sort of put our music up on like 12 different licensing sites, and 3 years later, maybe 3 of them are still around, but every one of them was hours and hours of forms and stuff to fill out,
Yeah.
So, yeah, but no, we don't have any exclusive agreements in that regard. But then more recently, CD Baby's been trying to get into the licensing game, and it gets really confusing. There'd be all these sort of disclaimers, like if you're already with Rumblefish, don't check this box. But if you're already with YouTube, do check this box. And it's getting really...
It's so complicated.
Yeah. Who actually the decisions, I'm not sure, but no, we don't have any exclusive agreements, and we'd be incredibly hesitant to do that because, I wouldn't hang my hat on any of these sites. Like, they just go down, all of a sudden you just never hear from them again. You know what I mean? It's crazy, so